Good morning, second grade. I'm thinking I'm hopefully on again. I have my son videotaping on the phone, so hopefully we can get this to also go onto Google Classroom a little easier today. But if you are live, even if you're not live, you'll be able to read this and view it later today. But a couple things to check in on today. Welcome to week 2, day 2 of second grade. I wanted to share with you another poem. This one is called It's Library Time. And yesterday we talked about rhymes, but today I want to add to that with rhymes also the words stanzas and lines in a poem. So this poem is called It's Library Time. It's library time and I read to myself. A book about nights that I found on a shelf. I start to imagine the more that I read that I am a knight on a powerful steed. I conquer a dragon to show I am brave, then vanquish a troll in its dingy dark cave. I ride through the land doing deed after deed, for we have a library where I can read. You'll notice in this poem, we have some rhyming words again. So like we talked about yesterday, I'm going to use my marker, different colors of marker. Good morning. It looks like I got Cohen on here and the Parsons girls and Mrs. Rosser joined us today. I'm going to look at the end of each line to see if I see any rhyming words. Time and myself. Do they sound the same? Time, myself. Then we have night's shelf. Ooh, I see two words that do sound the same. So I'm going to use my green marker to code myself and shelf because those two do rhyme. So there's a review of our rhyming, looking at the ends of each. So good morning, Parsons. Look at the end of each poem for those rhyming words. Now today I wanted to add in there the word, one of your vocab words, stanza and lines. A line is probably the easiest one for second graders to recognize because it's literally just a line of words. So if I were to count up all the lines in this poem, I'm going to put a dot by each line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This poem has exactly 16 lines on it. A stanza is a fancy poetry word for basically like a paragraph or a chunk of words. So in this poem, we see 2 chunks I've circled here, 2 like paragraphs. So this poem has many lines, but just 2 stanzas in it. So a stanza is kind of like a paragraph in a chapter book. So that's a review of poetry. Today for your picture challenge, yesterday you did really well finding objects that were the length of a whole ruler in feet. So today we're going to try and flip this to the other side of the ruler with centimeters. You'll notice the centimeters are the smaller numbers. Since yesterday we looked at 12-inch objects around the house, today I want you to scavenge around your house looking for an object that would be 12 inches. So yesterday, I said 12 inches, I meant 12 centimeters. So the paper yesterday we said was about 12 inches approximately. So today I knew I didn't want to find something big like a paper again, so I had to find something smaller. So in my house, I found this calculator is about 12 centimeters long. So I want you, when you're looking around the house, try and find an object that is 12 centimeters. You should be able to figure out the reason why my calculator is smaller than my paper by looking at the numbers. I noticed something about the numbers and the spacing on the centimeter side. Good morning, Pisano family, versus the number and distance on the inch side. So today your challenge is to try and find something that is 12 centimeters long in your house and post a picture. If you're getting proficient at Google Classroom, post it on there or write me a sentence about what you found, or you could do it on this Facebook page, whatever is easiest for whatever technology you're using at home. And the last thing I want to add, I thought about, this came up in a group message and it made me think last night, how can I help my second graders think about and talk about what's going on in the world around us? And so I figured this was what we call a teachable moment in teaching. And I wanted you to see how Mrs. Barker feels about what's going on. And there's a word in here I'm using to describe my feelings, and I want to see if you can figure out what this word means. So the word of the day I put up here is uneasy. Here are some clues, what we call context clues, to see if you can figure out what that word uneasy means. Second graders should be able to figure out with this word. We have a base word in there. Un is our prefix added to easy. My sentence is, Mrs. Barker feels uneasy about this pandemic. I want you to have a conversation with your parents, your grandparents, or whoever you're with tonight. Say, Mrs. Barker challenged me to figure out what the word uneasy means, because Mrs. Barker feels pretty uneasy about this pandemic. I'm always wondering, are my kids getting what they need? Am I doing everything I can for them? Are my family members safe? Are your family members safe? And this whole craziness we're going with makes me feel uneasy. So I want you to talk today with your parents about this word uneasy and tell me, what do you think that word uneasy means if Mrs. Barker feels uneasy about the pandemic? And then I want you to talk to your parents or grandparents about how you feel about this pandemic. This is what we call a teachable moment. I want you to talk about what's going on. And when you think you know what the word uneasy means, you could maybe take a picture of you saying, uneasy means whatever you think uneasy means. Or take out the word uneasy, Mrs. Barker feels blank. How does Mrs. Barker feel if she feels uneasy? What would be another word we could use that means the same as she feels a certain way? So, just the Parson girls are sleeping, well, when they wake up, show them this video, and we got some starters for you today. So to review that poetry, some measurement, and talk about what that word of the day means and in terms of what's going on. So have a great day, second grade, and I will talk to you soon.